Is Tyler Kolek developing into a two-way player? The young 24-year-old guard out of Marquette, who measured in at 6'1.25", barefoot at the NBA Draft Combine. He's barely 6'3" with sneakers. And we're going to break down a few plays here on both sides of the court as we continue to show and see the development of this young guard as a backup point guard for the New York Knicks, a position that has been long, needed here since we've had Jalen Brunson as a New York Knick, and now as the Knicks are true NBA championship contenders. And we're going to start with the offense here. And as we saw this play, I'm going to play it again in regular motion. And you're going to ask JD, how come Kolek turned into Dante DiVincenzo here with the catch and shoot? He looked like a player that knew what he was doing. He made his decision. We usually see him reset here. We usually see him call for the pick and roll play. We usually see him, swing pass, dribble. But in this play, we saw a determined player. We saw a decided player. And why did that happen? Well, let's break it down here to show the high basketball IQ of Tyler Kolek. Now, we see here, you see the situation here, Knicks down 4, key situation. At this point, it's going to be Brunson. A lot of times once you get to this part of the game, a lot of basketball action goes out the window and it becomes your best guy versus my guy. And the Knicks understand that. Now here, we're going to see initially right here, Brunson tries to attack and he gets cut off by Donovan Mitchell. Merrill stays in front of him and Mitchell cuts off this lane. Watch here how Kolek is going to try to put his hands up, and that is tactical because Kolek wants to know two things. Number one, is Donovan Mitchell going to respect him as the lone perimeter guy at center court, right? Is the defense going to respect me as a threat? That's the first thing you want to know because that's going to dictate your counter. If the guy's going to respect you, then now Brunson's going to have at least a little bit more spacing to reset and go into his counter move. However, if the guy then decides to commit, and he's not going to respect you, but they've decided schematically to not let Brunson beat them, then now Kolek has to counter mentally and become a catch and shoot player. That's exactly what he does in this possession. Look at the hand up here. Boom. See the hand up? Now let's see how Mitchell reacts to that. Mitchell does react. He recommits. Look, it goes back. And now Brunson gets a little bit more spacing. But now look how Mitchell recommits to Brunson. At this point, Kolek now knows, okay, this is a schematic call where they're just not going to let Brunson beat them, and they're going to create a wall here against Brunson. And you see the wall here created between Garland, Merrill, and Mitchell. Notice now, 14 seconds in the shot clock. Brunson at this point has dribbled over, 6-7 times trying to get a move on that the Cavs are just not going to allow. You see Mobley cheating a little bit here. Allen, hand on Towns, but all eyes are on Brunson. Now, notice Bridges, OG, and Kolek have all gone into their shooting stance. These guys now, has become a mental rep in that all of these three guys are now into shooting mode. Mentally, these guys are saying to themselves, this basketball is not going to go to Brunson. This is going to go to one of us. So they have to now prepare themselves for the shot so that they're not surprised by the action. Kolek does that. Kolek has now, the shot's already up, guys. We just don't know it. We didn't see it. We haven't seen it yet. But in live action, this is what we see. In the other world of Kolek, the shot's already up. He's already made a determination, a decision. I am going to shoot this basketball as soon as I get it. There's going to be no hesitation. And that's exactly what we saw here as Kolek is ready. And look, bang. Already, no hesitation, no reset, no second thought about it. he already told himself, this is what this possession is going to be, and I'm going to be the shooter. And that's exactly what he was. Excellent, excellent mental rep, excellent IQ rep, excellent execution there by Tyler Kolek. Those are the type of plays. That's the type of IQ you need in close basketball situation, which is going to have him continue to make a strong argument to be part of closing lineups here in the next couple games. So here is another possession here where this is the Donovan Mitchell turnover. Now, notice the Jalen Brunson turnover that is. At this point, what I want to show you here is Brunson turns the ball over. Notice how out of all the players, Kolek is the one that already sees what's about to happen. He knows that Mitchell's over here. And look at his stance. Looking like Usain Bolt. Already, he gets into his stance. And Brunson and Bridges do a few jog steps. But Kolek does sprinting. And there you see it. And that was such a key play in the game, ladies and gentlemen. The other part of it, not only was the anticipation of it here. Again, let's watch this here. See right there? Look at right there. The ball is not even in Garland's hand, and Kolek is already sprinting. Mikal hasn't even found out it's a turnover yet. Everybody else is in no man's land. But look at Kolek. Literally, Kolek and Mitchell are the only two guys in the whole basketball court that saw this coming. And look at Kolek. Look at the sprint. Here's the other thing he does perfectly here. Right there. Kolek. What Kolek does here is he goes to the side of his body. Now, why is that important? Because if he does this reach behind him and trails him behind the shoulder, what they're going to do, they're going to call the foul. They're going to call the foul. Any physical contact, they're going to call the foul. So he slides through the side of Mitchell's body, and that's why on the replay, you just left it where all you saw was Kolek's arm. Look, no body, just Kolek's arm. That's technique. That's IQ. That's smarts. And then you saw the play. And then lastly, here again, Kolek on this play, you're going to see here. Now on this play here, shot goes up. Now watch how Kolek, how many times on this type of play here, in this area on the court, do you see a player? So now look, Mitchell gets a shot up. Look at the first thing that Kolek does. The shot's up. Kolek looks at Garland. Why does he look at Garland? Because he wants to see, is Garland going to attack the basket? Do I have to box him out? Do I have to concern myself with Garland's action? Garland doesn't commit. Garland doesn't do anything. And now Kolek knows, okay, my guy is not going to do anything with the play. So look how he turns over because he knows I have to occupy this restricted area. This is my area here. And I have Towns here, OG here. OG's looking to put a body on Mobley. So now this could become a long rebound. And a lot of people, a lot of guards are taught you have to be in this free throw line restricted area to be able to get the long rebound. Again, Kolek, masterful job. First, looking at his man, identifying what his man was going to do. He saw that his man wasn't going to do anything. And then what he does, he attacks the basketball. Right there, boom, attacks the basketball. This is the part that nobody sees. The technique, the IQ, the vision, the effort defensively. And what does Kolek do? Looking up court, gets a nice pass to Bridges. This is Bridges' area. Boom, Knicks up one. And look at him, ready to defend again. Tyler Kolek, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing, amazing, amazing effort last night. He continues to show up in prime time situations now. Who would have thought that the NBA Cup experience was going to be the moment for this young man to develop and to reach another level on the NBA basketball court.